So let's go ahead and talk about Daniss Jenkins, man. Daniss Jenkins tonight, guys. What did he finish with? Daniss Jenkins had 23 points. 23 points, guys. On 7 for 10 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3, 6 for 6 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 1 turnover in, once again, 23 minutes. He's surprising a lot of people, but guys, I got 4 words when it comes to him for this game. Player of the game. Player of the game. Easily. I said last game that he was one of the best players in the court. Tonight, he was the best player on the court. Hopefully now you guys can all see why I was so high on him last year. Like, I called it, right? Y'all got to give me some credit for that, but I called it, right? We talked about this last year. I saw this with him last year. He didn't look quite as good as he does now, quite as effective as he does now, but I saw a lot of these things that he's doing now put on display last year. So Daniss Jenkins, man, he's a certified baller. He could not be bothered this game at all, right? He saw Reed Sheppard, the Rockets point guard, on the other end of the court, and he smelled barbecue chicken. He had 20 points by halftime. So second half, he was really cruising. The game was out of reach. Other guys got an opportunity. He didn't play as much, but he made his presence felt early, man. He came into this game, it looked like he was licking his chops, man. To be honest, he was cooking Reed Sheppard the whole game. Entire game, man. Medium well, just cooking him. Like, you could see that Daniss took this matchup personally. He had a real chip on his shoulder, and he was attacking Reed Sheppard all game on both sides of the ball, man. We talked about him picking up 94 feet, right? He was denying Reed Sheppard the ball on the inbound, picking him up 94 feet. Like we talked about, he was knocking down shots over him. He had a 4-point play where Sheppard challenged the 3-ball, kind of slid up under him, and Daniss still knocked it down it didn't even touch the rim. It was just string music. And it was a flagrant foul called on that. He had the free throw, knocked that down. So he just really dominated that matchup. And later in the first quarter, he stole the ball in an inbounds play and took it coast to coast for an and-one dunk, again, on Reed Sheppard. Man, so both players, I think the reason he has such a big chip on his shoulder and really came into this game the way he did is because both of these guys, in Reed Sheppard and Daniss Jenkins, both of their careers in the NBA began last year, right? And Reed Sheppard was picked 3rd overall in last year's draft, for those who remember, as opposed to a guy like Daniss Jenkins, who went undrafted and was given an opportunity from Trajan Langdon, undrafted. So you could see that tonight, Daniss looked like he wanted to really prove that the draft position, or lack thereof in his case, is not at all indicative of the caliber of players that these guys are, right? Not at all. There's no way that Reed Sheppard is, that much better. There's not that much of a gap between a number 3 pick and somebody going undrafted at all. You could argue that he's better than Reed Sheppard. I think he's a better player than Reed Sheppard on both ends of the court, right? Reed Sheppard is a little bit undersized. If you got size, if you got physicality, you can kind of bully him a little bit. And even though Daniss Jenkins isn't that much bigger than him, I think Daniss is 6'3", 6'4", he still was imposing his will with his physicality. He's more athletic. He's just as quick. He's just as long. He's just an all-around good player. He's just as good, if not better, than Reed Sheppard. And he showed it tonight, man. And I said it before Summer League started, guys. I said it multiple times before Summer League started that I would not be surprised if Daniss Jenkins finds his way onto the Pistons roster next season, right? Possibly as another insurance point guard, maybe even a backup point guard. And we have Cade, that's going to be the point guard. We know J.I. is going to slide to the one when Cade sits down to play the point. We have guys like Karis LeVert who can handle some point guard responsibilities, right? We got guys who can do it. But Daniss Jenkins is a pure point guard. He's not a combo guard. He's a point guard. He is literally a point guard. So I do think, guys, that he is going to find his way onto the rotation. Like I've said numerous times in the past, he has that ability to be able to get there. And I think his time may be now. And he's coming out here in the mission, guys. You can see he's got that look in his eyes. He's talking trash. He's doing all the things you want to see. He is making his presence felt. So I love to see that. Love to see that from Daniss Jenkins, man. And he is going to be a part of this team going forward. Shout out to Daniss Jenkins, man. Played a great game. He's been great all summer league. Was great all summer league last year. And he's been a model of consistency. He has been a model of consistency, man. So shout out to him for that. Let's see what you guys think about how Daniss Jenkins played. Do whatever Everlist says. Jenkins always been exactly. He's always been solid. He's always been solid. He's never a guy that's going to hurt you on the basketball court. He takes care of the ball. He's not a guy who was very turnover prone. I think tonight he had one turnover again tonight. He had 6 assists and 1 turnover. Last game, I think he also had 1 turnover in about the same amount of minutes. So he's continuing to show that he can take care of the basketball. He can be a floor general. When the ball is in his hands, you're not concerned. You're not worried about him turning it over or hurting you. And he not only does that, but he can make plays for himself and for others. We see that. And he does a lot of things that you really can't scout for as far as turning guys over, right? And getting after guys and getting easy points on the other end. A lot of things that we saw Ron Holland do last year, we're seeing Daniss Jenkins do. Just the intangible plays that he continues to make. Chess Ready says, all they wanted to talk about was Reed Sheppard. Exactly. And guess who heard it? Daniss Jenkins heard it. He heard it all last season. Like, these guys, they pay attention to things like that, where other guys were drafted, how they compare, how they stack up to them. And when they see them on the court, they want to prove that, yeah, I should have went before you. I should have been picked before you. And I think Daniss Jenkins came into this game looking to show to everybody else that there's no way he should have went undrafted. Not saying Reed Sheppard should have went third, but when it comes to Daniss Jenkins, he seems to have wanted to come out to prove there's no way I should have went undrafted. You guys slept on me. And as of right now, everybody is wide awake as they're watching him play the way that he's playing. So shout out once again to Daniss Jenkins, man. It's really good to see him progress and continue to just get it through the mud, man. Like, just continue to grind, and stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And as of right now, he's showing that he is ready. It's Black says he might be better than Sasser. So here's the thing. I think it's apples and oranges, guys, because first of all, Sasser's not a point guard. If Sasser was 6'4", 6'5", he would be considered more of a Chaz Lanier type player, not a Daniss Jenkins type player. But because Sasser's only 6'1", 6'2", he gets pigeonholed into that point guard spot. But he's not a point guard. He's a shooting guard. He's a scoring guard. And Daniss Jenkins is a point guard. So that's the difference for me. I don't think they're going to be really fighting each other for minutes. But I do think that Daniss Jenkins brings more of a need right now that the Pistons may have as far as just having a pure point guard. The Pistons have shooting guards on this team. We've got guys who can play shooting guard. We got Karis LeVert can play shooting guard. Duncan Robinson can play shooting guard. Cade can play shooting guard. J.I. is going to play shooting guard. Chaz Lanier can play shooting guard. So we have guys who can play the shooting guard position. But when it comes to point guard play, I think there's more of a need there. We've heard a lot of fans asking what we're going to do at backup point guard. And we talked about this last show. I think Daniss Jenkins could be that backup point guard. I think he can be that guy. I've always felt he could be that guy. So it's nice to see him showing that he can be that guy now. So when it comes to Jenkins versus Sasser, it's not really a comparison. I hear what you're saying. I think he may have a more of a shot to have a role on this team because of the reasons I just mentioned as far as the point guard versus the shooting guard as far as necessity and need, right? But I do think that he has an opportunity because I've heard fans, like I said, talk about guys like bringing Marcus Smart, for example, right? A defensive first point guard who can be a floor general and help you out and get things done for you, which at this stage of his career, he could still do. The contract isn't great. I think he's at $23 million, but the point is that there were fans who were concerned about that. Daniss Jenkins is the answer. Daniss Jenkins is the answer. So I don't think that much of a comparison is there with that. It's Black, but I do hear what you're saying. But yeah, I think he's going to get his opportunity. Nikki says Jenkins earned a rise. Yeah, you guys get it now. It's good to see it that everybody is paying attention to these guys, man, because they deserve our attention. Bravo says, I play Jenkins at backup point guard, honestly. Yes, 100%. Sarah Boss says, 100% agree. Jenkins behind Cade and Sass as shooting guard for sure. Yeah, and Sarah, it's going to be hard for Sass, I think, to get some minutes because we have more guys who can play shooting guard than we have guys who can play natural point guard. We have guys who are capable, like I mentioned, of playing point guard. But I just like the level of comfortability that we would have if we have a guy like Daniss Jenkins be able to come in and just hold the fort down, right? If you have a lead, keep the lead when you sit back down, right? If you're down, when you come into the game, try to cut the deficit down when you leave the game. Those are the things I'm looking for him, just to be steady, to keep the offense flowing, allow guys like Cade and Jaden to get rest and not have to rush back into the game. Like we saw Cade had to do a lot last year when Jaden went down before Schroeder got here. We saw Cade playing 40 minutes a game, 42 minutes a game, 43 minutes a game. And that's, if you notice, that correlated with him field goal percentage dropping because he was tired. He has so much responsibility, right? So that point guard play behind Cade, behind Jaden, that's going to be important. And I think Daniss Jenkins is proving, guys, once again, for the 1,000th time, that he can be that guy. Bravo says shepherd or sheep, man. Daniss Jenkins had him look like a sheep today. Bah, it was kind of ugly today for Reed Sheppard. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I feel sorry for the Rockets for picking sheep at 3. So Bravo, we calling him sheep now. We calling him sheep now, not shepherd. Was Daniss Jenkins a shepherd today for Reed?
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think of just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of canine. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I heard you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must want this way. Tryna tell ya, hit the door, palm, mess around, find out, Hook the door, palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're real for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that.